We're going to continue our deep dive into automations and workflows, and we're going to start to build out our own automations. And we're going to do this from the standpoint that I want you to understand we're going to show you the most commonly used automations for people just getting in. Now, there are unlimited, I really mean this, unlimited combinations of automations and workflows that you can build. And I want you to know we're giving you the basics, the basic building blocks so that you can get creative from there. So as you go through the trainings that we're going to be doing and as you follow along and even build along with me, I want you to know we're not limited to this, but this is to get your imagination running and to get you comfortable by clicking and adding and trying new things and changing things up. And so in each of these trainings, we are intentionally putting in the basic items along with every once in a while a couple advanced items so that you'll learn first, not to be afraid, second, to let your creativity run wild, and third, give it a shot. Try something new and see what it does. In our first, we're going to use our most common requested type of workflow, and this is an SMS or a text message, a keyword, where someone texts a keyword and it launches a campaign or a sequence or a workflow. And so we're going to start with that. Now, you can always start with a recipe, and we have lots of different recipes here that you can see, all types of recipes. And what a recipe is it's a template that's ready for you to fill in the blanks, if you will. It'll place all the pieces in place, and then you're going to give those pieces life and content. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to start from scratch. And so we're going to click Create Workflow, and we are on Automations. And then this is the page. If you have no automations, this is what you'll see. And we're going to click Create Workflow, and we're going to click Start from Scratch. And this is going to open up our workflow builder. And the first thing we always want to do is label our workflow. It's really important. I recommend you come up with a good labeling system, keep things organized. So we're going to do an SMS, and we're going to do keyword, and that's it. So it's an SMS keyword, just like that. Now, every time I label or do something significant, I always like to save my workflow. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to click Save. Okay. Now, the first thing we like to add is clearly a trigger. So we're going to click Add New Trigger. And for us, that trigger, we have to think about what we want the system to do. Because some things you're going to say, oh, it's an SMS keyword. But if I look through, I'm not going to see any SMS keywords at all. So we want to consider what is the category of the trigger. So what's the category of the thing that's going to create this action? And for us, it's going to be an event, right? It's going to be an event. Why? Because the customer or the contact is doing something. And so for us, we're looking for an event. And so you'll see as we go through here, you'll see customer replied is one of our events. That's what they're doing. So think about it. If someone is texting you, and even though they may not be your customer yet, that's your goal, right? That's your hope. They'll be your customer or client. If they're texting you, they're replying to you. They're sending you a message. So we're going to select the trigger customer replied. Now, this is going to be repetitive for you. You're going to hear this a lot as we go through these trainings because I think it's important that you keep yourself organized. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this workflow trigger name and this has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't matter what I type here. I could type anything I want and it wouldn't matter. But for me, it's about organization. So I'm going to say SMS keyword, and then I'm going to type what that keyword is. And let's say that keyword is promo. So the keyword is promo. So that's what we're going to use. We're setting up a keyword for people who want to get info about a promotional that we're running. Okay, now I know this is hypothetical, but this will help you. So we're setting up a keyword for people to text in to me or to my business if they want to get information about the promo that we're doing. So we're going to do promo. Okay, now I could save this and any reply would automatically work. So when we're building triggers, we always want to work in filtering. So the very first thing, customer replied could be anything. It could be a reply to an email. It could be a reply to a text message. It could be a reply to Instagram, Facebook. It could be any type of message that we receive. And so we want to make sure we filter it down and tell it where did they reply from. So underneath all the triggers, you're going to notice Add Filters. We're going to click on Add Filters, and then we're going to click Select. And we always have standard fields, and these are fields that are related to the trigger itself. If you keep scrolling, you'll see custom fields, and we're not going to worry about those. So these are our standard fields related to the trigger we're using, customer replied. And we're going to look for the one that I think is the most important, is that where did they reply from? We call this the reply channel. So where did this customer reply from? So that's our reply channel. So we're going to filter it. We're going to say we don't want it from every reply. We want it from a specific reply. And what is that specific reply? We scroll through, we'll see all the options. These are all the different channels that they could have replied from. We are going to do SMS because that's our text messaging. SMS is our text messaging, but we could have chosen chat widget, call, email, Facebook, all these things. We're going to do SMS. Okay. Now we've got it narrowed down that this automation will trigger anytime someone messages us from an SMS, from a text. Now the question is that what we want? No, we want this to be a keyword. We don't want it to be anytime someone messages us. Can you imagine? It would trigger every message we get. We would trigger this. So we're going to filter it down a little further. And we're going to say, what does it have to be? It has to contain something. What's that? They have to say promo. So we're going to select our fields. And you'll notice we have two ways we can do this. Contains phrase, as well as match exact phrase. Here's the difference. If I say contains phrase and I type the word promo, then, and I can hit enter because I can have multiple phrases that would trigger this. I hit enter and it says promo. Here's how that would work. If someone texted me, I want info on the promo. Now they sent me a whole sentence. Because the word promo is in there, then this would trigger. Okay, this would trigger because it contains the phrase promo in the sentence. I want info on the promo. Now, if I decide, oh, I just want the exact phrase, then we're going to type in match exact phrase. And if I type promo, now it has to match exactly. And while I've never truly seen this, I do recommend if you're going to use an exact phrase, which a lot of times we are, then there's some things you want to do. But let's give you how this would trigger. Now, because it says match exact phrase, if someone were to message send the text message, I want info on the promo, this workflow would not trigger. It would not trigger. Why? Because the exact phrase that it has to match is just promo. You can't have I want info on or anything in that specific message. It just has to stay promo. Sometimes people might type promo like this. They might type promo like this. They might even type promotional. That's okay. You can add multiples of these and you'll see that they're all here. Now, in our example, we're going to go ahead and do match contains phrase, and we're going to just put promo. And we're going to save trigger. We're going to save our workflow. Notice immediately we do something and it saves. Just like that, we've saved it. And now we have our trigger. So now, because of the fact that this will now trigger, what do we want it to do? So now if someone texts us and it contains the phrase promo, they're going to be thrown into this workflow. But we have to answer the question, now what do we want it to do? What's our reaction to their action? Well, the first thing we want to do is probably confirm that we got their text message. Wouldn't you agree? So we're going to add a text thread, a text reply. So we're going to click on plus sign, and then we're going to look for an action. So these are all things about updating the contact. These are all things about communication. So we're going to send an SMS. And here is where we would type our SMS. Now, if we had some templates saved, we could insert them, and you see it looks just like this, but we don't for this one. So we're going to click none, and we can type our response. And here is where we can do a lot of our adding of special characters and our custom values. And so I'm going to show you how we do that. And we're going to say, hey, and we're going to put in first name. Do we know their first name? No, they texted a keyword, but maybe they're already in our system. So if they are, we want to put their first name. So we're going to put, hey, first name. And then we're going to say, I'm excited to add you to my promo list. We'll send you the first promo details shortly. Okay. And we'll click save. And then, we're going to add this though. This is important. If you ever decide you don't want promotional info, just reply no promo to stop receiving those types of messages. Okay, there's some things I didn't hear that are really important. We're going to talk about in our next training, but we're giving them a way to opt out. It's really important that we give people a way to opt out of our messaging. Okay, so this is our message. Hey there, first name. And you're like, but what if they don't have their first name? No worries. It will just leave a blank here. It'll just say, hey, exclamation mark. And I'm excited to add you to our promo list. We'll send you the first promo details shortly. If you have decide you don't want promotional info, just reply no promo to stop receiving those types of messages. And we're going to click Save Action. Now we have an SMS, but there's something I didn't do. And it's intentional because I know that this is how many people do things, and I want to give you what I think are your best practices. What I recommend you do is select the SMS, and instead of calling it SMS in our action name, let's go intro text message. So we know what we're actually sending. If we were using a template, I would label this with the template name. We're going to click Save Action, and now you see it says intro text message. Save. Now, here's the thing. We're building a promotional text thread. Now, this may be all we need because now we have people that want our promos. And maybe there's no promos right now, but they're being added to the list. That's great. How will we know who they are later? How will we know who to send promotional messages to when we have a special promo running for our business? This is why tags are so important. We're going to create a tag now that will add them to a special tag group inside of our contacts called promos, right? And so we're going to go ahead, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tag. So I add plus. And now, is this a communication? No, we're not communicating with them. This is directly related to the contact itself. So we're in our contact, and we're going to click the action, add contact tag. Now it's going to give us our action name, and which tag do we want to add? I'm going to add the tag, and I always like to do it like this, add tag colon, and we're going to put in parentheses promo, or in quotes, promo. This is the tag we're adding. So here, you'll see I don't have that tag yet. No big deal. I'll just type it now, promo. Now you'll also notice that all tags are all lowercase. So even if I typed a capital here, it will become a lowercase tag. You can see that right here. And this brings me to my next point. We didn't have that tag. But the system is smart. It knows you don't have that tag. So if you'd like to add it, you can add a new tag now. And just like that, we've added it. Now, we could add multiple tags here if we wanted. We could add another tag, and it will add all of these tags to the contact. We're not going to. We're just going to add promo. And from here, we're going to save our action. You'll see it now added. Add the tag, and you'll see these are different icons. And then we're going to save our workflow. That's how simple it is. Now, if I wanted to do more, I could absolutely do more. Notice in our first message that we gave them the statement, don't worry, I'm going to send you your first promo details shortly. So let's say we have a standard promo of 10% off coupon for any time that someone's a first-time buyer from us. No problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we are going to add a wait tag. So a wait tag is how we start to build out our long sequences. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add an action by clicking the plus sign, and we're going to add wait. Now there's lots of different waits. For us, we're just going to wait a little bit before we send this. So let's just say this is going to be a wait, and I love to name our actions. So we're going to wait for 5 minutes. You'll see that the wait time is a time delay. We have a lot of different delays, but we're going to do a time delay because we're not waiting on anything else to happen. We're just waiting 5 minutes and then do the next thing. And it's always going to be based on from the point they hit the action. And that'll make sense here in a second. So we're going to wait 5 minutes. And we're going to click Save Action. So now what's going to happen is the person will come into our workflow. because they texted promo. They're going to get this text message that says, don't worry, in a few minutes, I'm going to send you our first promo details. We're going to add the tag to them. Then they're going to hit here and they're going to sit here for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're going to do what? Send another SMS. So we're going to send an SMS. And this time we're going to say, here's your first flash deal. All our new customers get 10% off of their first order plus free shipping. Just go to, and we're going to put a website in. And use the code MyFirst10 at checkout. Now, obviously, this is not real, but we're just doing this as an example. And we're going to say first time buyer promo code as our action name. And we're going to click save the action. Boom. Just like that. Now, I want to show you one thing you can do with text messaging, because again, a lot of this is just to teach you different things you can do. Now, what I could do here is I could actually, if I had an image, I could actually attach an image and you could send it with your code. So it's a big promo code. You could send it by just clicking attach the image here and it'll open it up. This is just a QR code. So I'm going to use it as an example and it's only 49 kilobytes. We recommend keeping things under 2 megs, but really under a meg would be best for your sizing. Click open. And now you'll see that example is there. And when I send this text, that image will go as well. Just as a note, when you're sending images, you can only send 1 image per message, and that's totally fine. And you can't send videos this way. Now I'm not going to send that, so I'm going to delete it, but I wanted you to see how to do it. Click save the action. We're going to save our workflow, and that's it. We've now started a keyword. We've added people to our list. We've waited a little bit, and then we've sent them their first promotional code. And now you're building your list of anybody and everybody who wants a promo from you. In our next training, we're going to go through what do we do if someone wants off our list. And we'll show you that in our next training.